Hello everyone, welcome to a new video for Bitcoin price prediction based on Elliott wave analysis. This is a deep analysis where we want to dive deeper, of course, in all possible or the most possible scenarios for Bitcoin, what's gonna happen in the next week, of course, and what is the highest possibility between all of these possibilities. So starting on the monthly chart here, we are looking for our curve, parabolic curve towards the upside for the all-time history for Bitcoin. We can see every single cycle that we have already for Bitcoin where we have reached almost a top for every single 4 years. And as we can see, every single cycle we are topping a little bit before in timing. As you can see here, we have topped before 2 months, 2 candles. In the third cycle, we topped, of course, before 5 candles. And in this current cycle, we have almost topped even much faster and much less in time, of course, than the previous cycle. Now, in this cycle, we are looking, of course, for this move towards the upside 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As you can see, this wave 5 is very close to be finished, probably, and very close as well to our curve here, taken from the all-time high for every single cycle. So for this cycle, we still probably have a little bit of small gap here that we can see, of course, until we reach the high. And we are very close to see a finished impulse toward the upside as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. So we can see a wave 4 and a wave 2 has formed definitely over there, and a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is almost very close to be finished. However, a little bit higher can be very possible still. And probably with this, of course, on the monthly, we mean, of course, at 130K. That we probably can still reach and achieve for this bull run. Now, if we take a look on the weekly chart, of course, after a fresh reminder here, where are we on the monthly and what we might see. Let's take a look on not the weekly chart, let's take the daily and take a look at our channeling here, taken from our bull run cycle where we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, the wave 5 that we saw, of course, on the monthly, and we are looking to finish this wave 5 with a little bit more space or gap to fill. Now, as you can see, this acceleration channel is taken from your wave 2 and based on your wave 3. After, of course, breaking the price here with your corrective channel in blue, of course, you saw that we have entered perfectly our acceleration channel and we are still ranging inside it. So we were close to hit, of course, the middle line of this acceleration channel. We did not yet, now preferably to do, of course, for a wave 5. And yeah, this could be a signal of a finished wave 5 and finished impulse toward the upside. As you can see that the price action went down for a corrective wave in a wave 4. Definitely, it did not touch the lower part of this acceleration channel until it has moved impulsively again. As you can see, this is an impulse 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we saw another correction, probably that it might play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to finish this final wave and filling this gap that we are talking about on the monthly and hitting, of course, probably the middle line, of course, of this acceleration channel. Now, it is not really necessarily to hit it. The important thing is to take the high probably one more time, because this was not really enough to say that we have finished an impulse toward the upside. So basically, we are still ranging here inside this acceleration channel. Now, of course, we see some red again, and we see some resistance on the middle line of the lower part as well, where we saw a break and then, yeah, again a resistance, probably formation of an ABC after a wave 1 as we are looking for, and then probably moving for higher again. Now, if we take, of course, a look at our scenarios that we're gonna talk about it inside the daily here that we can, of course, have for the next week. So the first thing here we are looking at, of course, after wave 3 here, we have a correction A, B, and a C for a wave 4. After this ABC wave 4, you have triple 1 2s, and we have finished so far in the Y scenario 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. With this scenario, you have finished your most explosive wave 3, of course, for this impulse, and you have finished a wave 3 in the orange scenario 1, 2, 3, and probably we got already our wave 4. As you can see, the blue box here represent the time required for a wave 4 in the orange scenario to be achieved. And actually, I realized with this deep analysis or reanalyzing this based on time as well, I saw that the wave 4, of course, has passed the time, almost the required time to be bottomed. And this definitely telling us that we have reached the wave 4 after double time of your wave 2 in the orange scenario. Now, after this, we saw a move toward the upside, which it might be your wave 5 in orange scenario. And this, of course, might be your wave 5 in orange scenario, meaning right now we might be in a correction after it, because we took the high, of course, of this previous wave 5, and we're looking now for the yellow scenario with a new wave 5. So very, very probable that we are having here kind of a correction and moving one more wave, just one more, for a wave 5 in the yellow scenario to finish a 1, 2, of course, 1, 2, and then 3, 4, and a 5. The time required for a wave 4 in the yellow scenario is given, of course, here in this blue box, where it should be in the 2nd of February, probably between 2nd of February, which is tomorrow, right? And between the 14th of February, in 2 weeks, right? We need to see a bottom for this wave 4, probably in 2 weeks, to move for higher. Now, don't forget that a wave 4 can, as per Elliott wave theory, can range again, of course, downwards until it reaches the previous wave 4. Meaning, it is very, very possible that we can dive deeper for a wave 4 to of course, reach this bottom that this wave 4 in orange has already reached. Meaning we can reach the 90,000. It is very, very possible, and we still in a bullish scenario, because it still can move for higher again for a wave 5 after. The important thing is, of course, to bottom within the time, or the double a little bit after it is fine, and then moving for one more high toward the upside. Now, this is your bullish scenario, which is still might be unfolding. Your bearish scenario is a finished bull run. I'm gonna explain. Again, we have topped for a wave 3 at the same place like the previous scenario. But in this scenario, we have a longer wave 4, W, X for a flat, and A, B, C, D, E for a triangle in a wave Y. Meaning you have finished your wave 4 exactly here as W, X, and a Y 3 corrective waves. After this, you are looking probably to a 1, 2, and then another 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 for your wave 3 actually, which is in the yellow, because the yellow scenario is only one impulse toward the upside I'm considering here, is 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, finished impulse, of course, and a finished bull run. Your wave 3 has, of course, 5 waves, impulsive, perfectly finished, ABC for your wave 4 in the yellow scenario, and impulse for your wave 5, finished a main wave 5 after 3, 4, and a 5. Now, if that is the case scenario, it is, of course, a probability here, but it has a less probability, and that because, of course, of the choppiness that we saw after this top here. If we were bearish, I would like to see, of course, kind of an impulse towards the downside, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ABC, and continuation, or I would like to see at least a very clean leading diagonal, meaning 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a contracting diagonal. Therefore, I would say this is a formation for a wave 1 in an impulse, of course, toward the downside. So very, very possible, of course. I mean, let's see how this is gonna turn. Don't forget that also it is very possible to have a bearish market which is a very big correction without any kind of impulse, meaning it can start in 3 waves down and then finish in 3 waves up, and then of course it can finish in 5 waves down. So these are already 3 waves down. It can do another 3 corrective waves, so you have 3 waves down, 3 waves up, and then one more big wave down toward the downside, bringing us around the 70,000, of course. And we don't want to forget that we have a CME gap between the 77,000 and the 80,000, of course, for our CME gap that we need to close sooner or later, right? It's a very, very huge CME gap. Let's watch it on the BTC one. As you can see, we have a huge CME gap for Bitcoin in the futures that we need to close sooner or later. And I'm keeping this as for our bearish market, of course. So in this case, I would say that yes, of course, we are looking forward for a bearish scenario sooner or later. This might be also corrective, or it can be impulsive toward the downside. Now, let's move a little bit deeper here what's going on in the top with the possibilities, where we might see, of course, something, bullish or bearish that it might appear. So as you can see here, our possibilities are, those are the most highest possibilities. Of course, there is plenty of possibilities that it can happen in Elliott wave, but those are the main one and the most potential. So if we take a closer look here, we have in our top, we have here, in case we are in bullish scenario, as you know, we are looking for a wave 5. So we are looking for a wave 5 here in the yellow count. Let me add the wave 5 in yellow count after a finished wave 2. Meaning, we probably are looking for a massive wave 5. Yeah, it could be both scenarios. It could be a massive wave 5, 1, 2, considering that this is a wave 1 and not a wave 5 in orange. It can be your wave 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 5 for massive wave towards the upside to fill, of course, the gap that we saw on the monthly as well. And touch this gap, it needs 130K. Or it can be a simple, after an ABC for a wave 4 here in the yellow in time, of course, as we have explained, finished in time and then moving for a wave 5 as well in a yellow scenario. Meaning with this bullish scenario, you're still looking, of course, for a correction to be finished, whether you are in 1, 2 or whether you are in a 4 and a 5. The wave 4 or the wave 2 will need 3 corrective waves, A, B, C towards the downside to see, of course, continuation for higher prices. These are your bullish scenarios. Both are, of course, possible and still unfolding probably. Now, we have, of course, here the bearish scenario, or let's say short-term bearish scenario. I will start with the first one, which is a W, X, and a Y. So we are looking here in your way at, and I mean with this short-term bearish scenario is your wave 2 or your wave 4, because much higher possibility that we are still bullish and we're looking for a wave 2 or a wave 4. So this is one of them. WXY, where you are looking here at a W, X, and a Y toward the downside. It is much maybe nicer to enter into the 4-hour chart here to see it much clearer. So what I mean with it is you have a W here and you have a triangle for your wave X, and you are into a formation for a zigzag for a wave Y. This is your wave Y in a zigzag or in a irregular flat, because this looks like 3 waves down, 3 waves up, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. You would like to finish, of course, this zigzag or flat. It might finish in a running flat, by the way, because we can take it as if we take the fib level taken from the W and the X and the Y, of course, you can see that this can be can be at 1-to-1 fib level at exactly 100K. So 100K almost is a first target or first possibility that we can finish a wave Y with it. Don't forget that it can be also a triangle, yeah, and that's why it has a 1 to 1 fib level here. It can be a triangle, it can be a flat, or it can be a zigzag. Now zigzag is out right now because there is no impulse here. We have just 3 waves. Only 2 possibilities: a flat as hitting the 1 to 1, or maybe even taking the low, probably. It can turn into a running flat. In this case, if we just take the 1 to 1, it can turn into a running flat and moving for higher. Or it can, of course, be a triangle, meaning more sideways until we find the wave E here, A, B, C, D, E. And as you can see, your wave E will be toward the downside, and meaning finishing toward the downside, a triangle moving directly for higher. And this might, of course, unfold your wave 2 or your wave 4 toward the upside. So basically, this is what we are looking for. For now, for me, which is the highest possibility, is a wave 4, because I want to move with the less bullish first, less bullish scenario. If I saw a potential of higher prices, then I move to a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah? But for now, let us move with the highest possibility first as a wave 4. And of course, probably finishing here in the low or even here. Wave 4 can finish anywhere in this area, guys, because of the W, X, and a Y. So this is one short-term bearish has been explained. W, X, and a Y, of course, where you want to finish this 3 waves corrective and moving toward the upside. Now, another bearish scenario, which it can be much more deeper and bigger one, of course, which can bring us to a very deep wave 4, as explained, as based also on the theory of Elliott wave, that a wave 4 in a double or triple 1-2s, the wave 4 can come back to the same area, same level. And this scenario is an ABC expanding flat. What do I mean with it? An expanding flat is, of course, this one, as an A, B, and a C toward the downside. And with this scenario where you would like to see, of course, an expanding flat. I don't know why it was deleted here. This, I think, here we go. Let me take this one. So A, B, and a C, or maybe it is on the 1 hour chart, probably. Here we go. ABC in the blue scenario here. In the blue scenario, as you can see, if you follow the blue scenario, we have a very deep wave B here, probably as A, B, and a C toward the downside. You would like to see, of course, an impulse hitting in between the 1.38 and 1.618, meaning 86,000 or 82,000. But this is a very, very, of course, a very low possibility, lower than the WXY or finishing an ABC here as a zigzag between those fib level, between this area, which I'm watching right now. And with this one, of course, is very, very far. We need to break all these levels before we come to this one. So less possibility, higher possibility, of course, is a WXY in the magenta, or an A, B, and a C with the orange, that you can see a deep wave C, of course, to finish this zigzag or this impulse toward the upside. If we take a look closer here, as you can see on the 1 hour chart, let's move 1 hour chart here for much more clearer. So as you can see, I drove the path, of course, for this scenario since yesterday. Of course, we have bottomed for a wave 3 and we were looking for wave 4. Exactly, this is what happened, and we will move, of course, for lower prices. Now it looks like your wave 5 might not be finished yet, but we see kind of invalidation a little bit unless it is finished here. So probably you have finished 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, because we took the low, unless you are still in a bigger wave 4 and then 5 toward the downside, meaning this can be your wave 4 still as an expanding flat, A, B, and a C, And then wave 5 can still unfold, of course, to reach this target. And I prefer this scenario, of course, which is much more likely to happen. And looking at the time of your wave 2 and time of your wave 4, yes, this might be 100%. And wave 4 is a perfect scenario for a weekend in a correction in a very, very slow market. So after this, we might have finished, of course, an impulse toward the downside. Don't forget our W, X, and a Y. This will finish our W, X, and a Y here. So I'm going to remove a little bit of possibility so we can see better. This W, X, Y, W, X, and a Y can finish perfectly at the 90,800 or the 100,000. Yeah. Between this area, we can say we have to watch this, guys. We have to be careful because once it is done, we can move toward the upside. Yeah. And your wave A, B, and a C can be finished as a running flat since you have 3 waves down, 3 waves up, and you can finish in 5 wave short as it has done right now, short waves, finishing almost in the middle of the structure as a running flat, right? And moving for higher prices. Now, in a bigger scenario, this impulse 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 can transform into a wave 1. And this wave 1 can lead to a wave 2, 3, 4, and a 5, hitting in between, of course, the 1-to-1 fib level for a regular flat in the orange scenario. So you are looking now at the orange scenario where you have an A, which is, of course, the whole thing here, A, B, C, meaning 3 waves, A, B, C for your wave A, B, C for your wave B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for your wave C. And that leads us, of course, for a zigzag, probably here, or flat as well. Yeah, 3 waves down, 3 waves up, 5 waves down, perfectly in the 1-to-1 fib level or 1.05 uncommon target. But yeah, I mean, both are 94,800 or 300 as well. And the confluence of this target between the 0.618 and 0.78 is playing perfectly for another bullish scenario that we talked about it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for wave 1 and wave 2. Perfect fib levels for a wave 2. So we are having a confluence here, yeah, for a target. So let me put this into a blue box. We're looking after this, or we have to be careful for this one between those levels. So those blue box are to be watched. If we break the first, I mean, we have to watch if we don't see a strength, 5 waves up, 3 waves down, continuation, breaking this high as a confirmation for bullish. If we see lower prices, breaking the 1-to-1 fib level, meaning breaking the 100K, which is a very psychological target, by the way, breaking this, meaning, of course, we are heading to the 94,800. Yeah. This is our second level where we would like to see probably a bigger scenario as a 1-2 or as a 4-5, meaning this is wave 4 in your yellow scenario. Yeah, so these are the insights. Now, of course, if we break this, if we break the 786 and moving to the 886, yeah, that's meaning, of course, a very, very big bearish scenario. Probably, of course, we are heading to a big A, B, and a C here for a 1.38, 1.618 at the same level with your wave 4 previously, and then moving toward the upside again, probably. So I'm gonna put even the path here so that you don't think that we are just bearish here. You know, so yeah, these are the insights, guys. We probably have also a move up from here. So those are the paths. Those are our scenarios, yeah? Those paths represent our scenarios. So now, as you can see, we need lower prices. In all case scenarios, we need lower prices to reach this zone. If we break this zone, we need, of course, then lower. Now, in both case scenario, we have to move higher, probably. And then, of course, that is a crossroad here. Is it a 1-2? Okay, we move higher. It's not a 1-2, it was a correction. Then we move, continue lower prices. and of course, to reach the bullish scenario one more time again. So that was it for Bitcoin. All possibilities. I hope that I have explained it clearly and that it was informative for you for the next week, guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes and comments, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.